of Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and today we're going to do a review and a quick recap for Power Season 3, Episode 9, I Call the Shots. So in this episode, we can see it's starting off, well, that's where we get started. We took a week off, we're back. I'm glad to see everybody back. This week we're going to be doing a giveaway for, it's going to be announced next episode for the season finale. The giveaway is, you have to like, comment, and be subscribed to our channel for a chance to win a $25 gift card for either iTunes, Google Play, or Amazon. It's your choice once you're identified as the winner. Just make sure you do those 3 things to be qualified for the giveaway. So on to the recap. This episode, we open up with Ghost and Tommy inside the club, and we see that Ghost doesn't really believe in the things that Tommy is saying. We see Tommy's kind of not really being truthful with Ghost. Ghost is having like flashbacks, everything is going on. And it's just like a bunch of mixtures going on. And like this whole episode, we see people are saying one thing but have their own hidden agendas going on this whole episode. Everybody's like really looking out for themselves in this episode, except for Julio. But we'll get to that later on. But going through this episode, like even this scene right here, we see Tommy's telling them, oh, last minute, Milan called me to the spot. I'm going to check it out. And we see Ghost just looking at him, staring at him like, really? You're expecting me to believe this? Really? And that was really that. Not really that, but you see Ghost having a flashback there. You see real conflict on the inside. Accent. Once Tommy starts to believe him for a little bit. And he asks him, like, what was the club looking like? Then Tommy gives him like a little bullshit story, like, oh, like a warehouse. It was just dark and like moist. I forgot what he said, the exact words. But right there, Ghost knew, like, damn, I don't know if I can really believe him. Like, I really can't believe him. So we see that happens. We see, even with all that, like Ghost and Tommy basically like, we to be brothers, we family and everything. And that's really it. And moving on, we see this episode, we see Malik, or not Malik, I don't know why I'm calling him Malik, Tariq is still hanging out with 50. Like, why is he hanging out with Kanan? What is wrong with him? Like, we see them go shoe shopping, and while they're shoe shopping, we see Tariq picks out a pair of 3, the red 3s. It came out a few months ago. So we see Tariq is looking at it. Tariq's thinking about buying some shoes, but like, just for me, I know J's don't cost $250 retail. And for them, when they're going to a retail spot, it wasn't $250. Like it was in a Foot Locker. Jordans aren't $250 retail. That's just me. And you can get Jordans for cheaper than that anyway. But Jordans are $190 retail. Maybe $220 after tax, but it's not even that much. But besides that, we see while he's doing all that, they're talking. He's like, he calls back to the conversation that he had earlier with Dre. We see that Tariq and Dre was talking. Dre asked him, like, where were you at the other night when you went missing for all that time? I covered for you, but I'm not going to do it for you next time. And he told Tariq, like, you don't have to hang out with Slim all the time, Slim being Kanan, all the time if you don't want to. Like, we cool, but I think he should have just straight up came out and said, like, look, you shouldn't be hanging out with him. I understand he's trying to play both sides, but he knows he should have just straight up told him, like, look, don't hang out with Slim. Slim's not a safe guy for you to be with. Even though, like I said, we're friends, it's not really a true friendship. I think Dre should have honestly been truthful with Tariq. He probably got a better response. Because we see when Tariq and Dre actually, not Tariq and Dre, but Kanan and Dre actually meet up, we see they're talking about, hey, Tariq told me what you told him. Obviously, we see Tariq has chose sides over Dre now too. He doesn't anybody that's basically on Ghost's side, we see Tariq is turning his back on. And even worse, like when we see Ghost came and did like the parents' career day and everything, we see that that Tariq isn't really paying attention. Tariq actually gets upset in the middle of his dad's little like presentation. We see Raina kind of get upset. She doesn't get upset for the same reason Tariq does. Raina gets more upset about, like, it's a normal thing for Raina. She's kind of embarrassed when her dad calls her baby girl. Nobody wants to get called by their nickname in front of their classmates. So it makes sense. Like, everybody has that little nickname or their parents gave them that's kind of embarrassing. So she like basically calls out Ghost on that. And that's normal to me, but Tariq blatantly disrespects his dad. He's texting in the middle of class. I don't know how their school is, but I know I was in school, if I was texting in class, my phone was snatched. He was openly texting. Just took his phone out, texting, and then put his phone on top of the desk like it was not us. We had to like look down, like it was a whole mess when we were trying to text. But for Tariq, like, he basically really didn't care. So we see that's when he meets, or he sets to meet up with Slim. And it's weird, like, that Tariq is actually hanging out with this grown man. Like, I understand he's hanging out with Dre. Like, Dre's a little bit older. I think Dre's a little bit too old to be hanging out with him too, but at least with Dre, he's supposed to be. Like, when I was in high school, well, I don't know what grade he's in. I mean, like, when I was in junior high, I might have hung out with freshmen. I was freshman, hung out with senior, but I've never hung out with, like, some super grown dudes unless I was related to them. So that right there is weird to me. I hope, like, Tariq finds some way. Like, Tariq is really trouble. Tariq needs to get something figured out. I like that he's really smart, though. And we can see how smart Tariq really is when it came to stealing the shoes. It's just crazy that he was talked into stealing the shoes so easily. I feel like Tariq is much smarter than that. And there was no reason for him to really steal those shoes. Like, just because somebody tell you, like, your parents will buy you stuff doesn't mean you should steal shit. Like, it was stupid. Tariq basically just stole it off peer pressure from a grown dude who's hanging out with him in the middle of the day. Doesn't seem like the best person to take advice from. Life advice, anyway. And it's just weird. Going back to, like, that Kanan and Dre conversation, we see Kanan basically, he kind of sons Dre. We see that he's like, just like, hey, get out of here. But besides that, we see he's telling him, like, look, you don't have no options here. Every card you had, which I personally think for Dre, it's still the best move just to go to Ghost and tell him, like, look, Kanan's alive. He's been blackmailing me to do this. He said he's going to kill my daughter if I didn't do blah, blah, blah. And that's really the best move I see for Dre to do. Either that or just take Ghost out, like take Ghost, or take Kanan out himself. Those really is only two options. Either take Kanan out himself or tell Ghost about Kanan being back. Because Kanan being back isn't only... Because, like, Ghost keeps telling Tommy that Milan's going to kill him once Milan's done with him. But I feel like but Kanan's going to do the same thing to Dre. Once he has his end with Ghost, he's just going to kill Dre. There's no point for Dre being around. He knows Dre isn't loyal to him anyway. And that's really it. So for Dre, he needs to decide what he's going to do. Is he going to keep playing the back, or he's actually going to do this? So with that, like, it's crazy. Now, moving on to what else happened. We see the prodigal son returns. Cantos, he's back in the club. I think it might have only been for this episode. I didn't check to see if he was listed in the credits for next episode, but I believe he's only in this episode. We see he actually came to the club. He's asking for the Stern guest list. We didn't see Stern at all this episode or even the season at all. We only get to hear him in mentions every other episode. We hear Stern, so maybe Stern might show up on the next episode. We know what's her name is looking for a new venue, so she needs somebody. Maybe Stern might swoop in the last minute, take up the deal, but you never know. And with that being said, Cantos shows up. Canto's the asshole, basically plays it's like him. He kind of fucked himself. If he would have just came there, maybe first of all he tried to blackmail. He tried to blackmail James. He invited him to an event at the club on a certain date. Basically, like he should have played a little closer to the chest. Maybe go the day before, not a couple of days. It gave him too much time to actually plan. But we see then when Ghost said, like, why would I give you this list? he basically tells him, like, look, I can go to the cops and tell them all the information I know about you, which probably puts you in a bad situation. And that right there was no good idea. Me personally, I thought they were gonna call Dre up, had Dre work out that trigger finger he been dying to use, but he didn't do it. He actually went. He actually used Julio, which is like I like to see the Julio connect. We see Ghost instead of selling drugs. I don't know if he's not selling. I don't know if he's selling drugs in truth or not, but we do know he's selling drugs in Andy and what's his name club. So that might have been his way to work around actually selling drugs in his own club is by just moving it over to their club, which was pretty easy. We see Julio got in with a shitload of drugs. Julio was moving mad weight in there. I guess they hit a they has had a goal, and once they hit their goal, they ditched the rest inside the building. We see that because when James shows up, he set his meeting up for Cantos, I think like in 2 days, whatever. So the drugs has been there for a couple of days. We seen Julio there that night, and Ghost says, "Once you hit Mark, let me know. I got a plan." And they do that. We see while they're inside there, well, we don't really see that, but we see when Ghost shows up, Canto's no longer, he's like, hey, where Canto's at? We had a meeting set up. And what's her name showed up too at the same time. So, perfect timing. I don't know how he knew their meeting schedule. It might have just been like just coincidental that they were meeting at that time, which I doubt it. But regardless, that happens. We see when he shows up, they're actually being an asshole to him, like as always. They like basically feel like they got it, but they and goes on there for a couple seconds, and that's when the cops basically raise the building. They don't really mess with him or the lady. They really just go after Andy and his friend, and they basically obviously Ghost pulled that routine that he's infamous for. Set the drugs up. Somebody calls anonymously and let them know exactly where the drugs are and how to find them. Which the cops did. We see the cops went right to that corner, popped the little roof up, and took it. But I don't understand how Julio was able to put drugs in the ceiling in the middle of a packed club. Like that's super crazy. Like their security must have been super lax. I must admit the club was lit though. It was super packed. It was popping, but you see somebody on a chair messing with the roof. Like I don't really care how lit your club is, but it was super hype in there, and Julio was making bad money. But besides that, we see those drugs have been there for a couple of days. Ghost walks in, has the cops called, and the rest is history. So we see that was his end to get to get the clubs back into the hotels. Obviously, he shouldn't be tight on money anymore because he's been moving away. He's been selling the pills and everything. So his money wasn't really an issue now. That should be a thing of the past, and we're good. But with the Milan, we see Milan's he's really playing Tommy against Ghost also, because we see Tommy was talking to Milan about coming to the club, not coming to the club, but coming to the warehouse, and Ghost asked him about it, and Milan basically tells, I thought it was a lie. I don't know if it was or not, but I'm pretty sure it was a lie. Cause I don't think Ghost was tracking Tommy. Maybe they just stuck those two together. But Ghost, Ghost basically was running the addresses that he got from his little info dude, and he just happened to hit that warehouse up, and Tommy showed up afterwards. So I believe the information that Milan gave to Tommy was false. Just to drive that wedge in between them two a little bit deeper, but well, a little bit more. And we see it's actually working because we see he's introducing Tommy to like his mentors, other people in the business. He's calling him his protege, or his apprentice, and we see Tommy is eating that up. Tommy just like a lost puppy who wants to be loved. Like he doesn't care how he gets it. He just wants to be loved. And it's crazy to me. Like I understand Tommy wants to be number one. Tommy knows his wife is at risk and everything, but it's just crazy to me that because Tommy don't even really trust Milan. We see he still won't eat the food. He gets kind of like queasy anytime Milan eats food around him. So I understand. I think just the fact that Ghost doesn't tell him all the information and everything is enough to push Tommy away from Ghost, which is crazy to me. I like I understand like you don't like being lied to, but he's been proven like anytime Ghost puts you in a tough situation, he has you looked out for. Another thing is we see Tommy and Dre have a couple meetings this episode. We see the first time Dre meets up with Tommy, he's basically telling him, he's basically begging him to go talk to Tariq, telling him like, look, Tariq is in a bad place right now with everything going on between his family. I really think you need to be there for him. Just talk to him, get inside his head, and see how everything is going on. But it's Tommy in his usual fashion, he don't really want to hear that. He basically just tells him like, look, Tariq is family business. You're not family, so stay out of it. Don't come talk to me about Tariq or nothing like that. So I think there's another time Dre should just been straight up with him. Like, look, Kanan's back in town. Kanan's going after Tariq. He's not going after him, but he's using Tariq for some type of revenge against Ghost. And another thing mentioned Tommy right now, we see Keisha within this episode. Keisha's missing. Obviously, he didn't leave a scene at the hairdressing place. We don't know if he actually killed her or just sent her away. I'm assuming killed her because we see Tommy's out here. He's with the murder business right now. He's kind of on the edge. He's not really, But, yeah, I'll get back to back to Dre. And, well, I might just do it right now. And later on in the episode, we see Dre is keeping more secrets from Ghost. I don't understand it. Like, I really don't understand it. Tommy calls him to help clean up the little murder he did in the end of the episode. Which was surprising. It wasn't really surprising. I assumed Ruiz was going to die this season. I didn't think it was going to be his episode. I thought maybe next episode once they figured out that he was snitching. But I feel like Tommy might have screwed himself. Like, he screwed himself and got himself like in kind of clear, because when he's stabbing Ruiz, he tells him like, "Look, I'm not killing you because I want to. I'm killing you because Ghost kind of put me in a position to do it." So that lets the FBI know like, oh, Tom Egan isn't Ghost, so there's another person we need to be out here looking for. But at the same time, it gets them caught up for murder, which Ruiz, in my opinion, I feel like Ruiz was trying to warn him like, look, if you kill me and they find my body, basically, you're going to be screwed. Like, he tried to warn Tommy, but Tommy's like in this, Tommy, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Tommy, but yeah, it's crazy to me. Another thing we do get to see with we get to see like Greg is really on this episode. We see Greg sitting at Tommy's mom's house. Tommy's mom is there. Greg shows up with Medina in tow. Medina is basically talking to Tommy's mom. She's half dressed, Tommy's mom. She's half dressed. She shows up, and we see that she basically has her story straight after Angela kind of coached her and Tommy coached her. We see that he's straight. I'm trying to say with his mom. Well, we see like his mom basically has her story straight. She doesn't really say that Tommy was there before, there recently. And I don't know why she did. She could have just said like, oh, I seen Tommy yesterday. Oh, I seen Tommy there before. It really doesn't matter because she had a receipt for Tommy being there on the day of the murder, which is crazy. We see she said he did it with a credit card. So I just feel like, well, I know when I buy stuff, sometimes the credit card doesn't really hit until a couple of days later. So I guess he's in the clear with that, the fake receipt. It's crazy that they got the receipt. As you see, she had it dated for the day of the pizza. And she just stuck to that for her story. Like, oh, he won't let me pay him back for the pizza. Here goes the receipt. And one thing we see Greg actually finds Angela's card there. So that's another little piece of the puzzle. We see that, oh, Angela's been here. Maybe Angela coached her on what to say and what to do, whatever. And hey, Medina doesn't really want to hear it anyway. Medina sees the receipt, and that's enough for him. Like, oh, look, Tommy's not involved. You told me Ghost was involved. You told me St. Patrick was involved, but you couldn't find St. Patrick either. You're just looking crazy right now. You got me on the edge. If I get caught in this, I'm gonna get in trouble. If you get caught in this, you're gonna get in trouble. So there. But Greg does get like a little catch. We see, I don't know, Angela's so stupid to me. I don't know why she's walking around with this phone. Like, put it somewhere. Like, I understand you don't want to put it one spot where you're going to get traced back to it, but you don't want to. It's too much. It's way too much. It's way too much. You're gonna screw. Like, she basically did screw herself. You know, Greg is crazy. Greg, not crazy, but Greg is obsessed with this case. He's trying to get St. Patrick. He smashed his girl, and smashing Greg's girl basically got him a prison bid. So we see like Angela comes. She comes through after meeting with Ghost. Ghost tells her like, "Look, Greg showed up to Tommy's house, and it's what's going on here? Like, you can't keep Greg under control. He gonna kind of mess it up for everybody." And which is true because Greg is in so many places right now. He don't know what to do. We see Greg has so many people on his radar. He has Mike. He has Angela. He has Ghost. He's really only going for Ghost. That's what he wants. Everybody else is a casualty of Ghost. So it's crazy. And with that being said, when Angela meets up with Ghost, Ghost basically tells her, well, she tells Ghost, like, look, whoever you told about Lobos being alive is kind of going to screw us because the FBI knows about it. They can chase him back to Proctor. And once they chase Proctor, they're going to go right to Tommy, from Tommy to you, and from you to me. And Ghost basically tells her, like, look, you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to figure out. Because Proctor is my lawyer, so he can't really say I'm involved. He can't say Tommy's involved based off like the lawyer client issue. So like basically they're kind of like Proctor might get questioned about it, but he can't really say nothing about it. But going off of that, when Angela goes up to the crib, like I said, she brings the phone with her, stupid. And basically, Greg gets up in the middle of the night, goes through her purse, checks everything. Greg is real quick. He was pretty fast, you know. We see he got the iPad out, takes the picture real quick, get back to the kitchen, open up a beer and everything, all before she get out the room. Either she took her sweet time, or this boy Greg got some agility, man. That boy is smooth with it. And once Greg gets that, you know, we see he traces the number back to get a number. He gets the call log from it. Once he sees the call log, he hits up Medina. And once he hits Medina, he's trying to get the burner number for Lobos. He connects that phone. He tells Medina, look, I really can't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm letting you know if I catch the leak, they're all yours. Like, I don't want no credit, they're all yours. He basically assuming that it's Angela, which is not because he found that phone, but so Angela got a hard time to kind of explain why she has the phone and she's not the leak. It's gonna be kind of weird for her to do that. But with that information that Greg got, we see Greg is starting to get addresses and everything. He's pulling all that information, and once he pulled all that information, we see he got some addresses. He went to one, and he found Mike. Like, he found Mike leaving Marco's like little hideout, whatever. And Mike is putting himself in this bad situation off the fact that we know Mike. He put out a kind of like a Google alert. I don't know if you know the Google alert. You just put like not really a Google alert, but he put an alert out just in case Marcos came across anybody's desk. He put it out like, hey, if Marcos come up, bring the information to me. So with this situation, it was Knox who brought the information to him. Knox like, look, we found Marcos dead. I don't understand why he was still in the country if Lobos is dead and he knew that. So we see that's one link. He has him to Marcos. Now we got the Greg seeing him coming out of Marcos' apartment. So that's another link. That's two links, which at the same time sets off a radar. And Greg's here like, damn, what is Mike doing here? I thought it was Angela. So now Greg's all type of screwed up. Like, Greg, he wants St. Patrick, which he's using Ruiz for. He wants Angela, which he was using the phone to get the information from. But he ended up getting Mike at the same time. So Greg is like super confused about who's the actual leak, because obviously Mike has some information that he's not privy to if Mike was there already. Angela doing something because she had her card at Tommy's house, and everybody's off the books doing this. Everybody's dirty in some kind of way. It's crazy how they're all doing their own little things. Well, Angela's doing her investigation. Greg's doing his investigation. And Angela now knows there really is a leak inside the club, but she's just so stupid with it. Like, Angela she used like the worst time to call people and try to be like super incognito. Like, she calls Ghost, I think that was first season or second season, when she calls Ghost, the police sirens are going off. She's just not aware of her surroundings. This season, she calls Mike on the burner. We got the helicopter in the background. And why does Mike still have his burner? Mike knows they're looking for that phone. These cats, like Angela and Mike, they have to be two of the dumbest smart people I've ever seen on TV. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to both be keeping his phone. First of all, he knows, maybe he didn't know Marcos was dead yet. But either way, he knew Marcos didn't show up. I would have just smashed my phone, dished it. That's Marcos' fault. And we see like Angela looking at the credit card now. I'm like, I know Mike ain't dumb enough to pay for this dude's flight on his credit card. I thought Mike was so stupid for a second. I thought Mike was so stupid. But we see he wasn't. He actually just got some prepaid gift cards and did it that way, which was smart. Back and now, like it's crazy how this is going. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the mole is going to be discovered next episode. I really don't know. Like, we got 1 hour left this season. It's crazy. I don't know if they're going to figure out who the mole actually is. Like, it's going to be like they might get the information and the investigation on the individual might be going on to season 3. Like, they might get a guarantee. I think Angela and Greg might link up and say, "Oh, we think it's Mike," but besides that, yeah. I think Greg might actually come to Angela after this, and we'll find out. But when we see Ghost's episode, he's steady keeping like secrets from everyone. We see when he's talking to Tommy, Tommy's like, "Hey, look, Milan said if you do anything else, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. I need you not to do this." And we see Ghost like, "Oh, I got you. I won't do nothing until we figure out together." And we see he does it. You see he goes to Ruiz, have Ruiz do his little plan to call Greg and whatever. And we had the hints that Tommy was gonna kill Ruiz like earlier when Tommy and Ruiz even met up. So we see when Ruiz met with Tommy, what the money give up. Basically told him, "I'm not paying up front unless I meet to connect." And while he was saying everything, we see Tommy like meeting. I think things was Eduardo. And asking like, "How do you feel about smoothing the pills and everything?" He basically tells him like, "Look, that's the wave of the future. You might as well hop on the wave now. It doesn't make sense for us to be not to do it. Like, everybody's changing. All the kids are going to college now. College kids use that drugs for studying. We can move it after them, no problem." And Ruiz, he tells him like Ruiz is like stuck in his ways. Ruiz don't want to move pills, and that Ruiz is used to. Ruiz is used to moving like coke and everything. So that's what Ruiz is gonna stick to, because that's what Ruiz's game plan is. That's all he knows. And he's telling like, "Look, I'm ready to move to the future." And that's where you see the wheels start to turn in Tommy's head. Like, "Look, we can knock Ruiz out. We'll still have the territory, and we got our boy right here ready to step up." Now, do I think it was smart the way Tommy did it? No, because we see Tommy headbutted. I don't know if Tommy was bleeding or anything, left evidence on him, but it was kind of smooth how Tommy did it too. We see Tommy left his gun inside the glove department when he asked Ruiz to bring his flashlight. Ruiz got kind of relaxed, like, "Oh, here was a gun right here." So he gets stabbed. Like I said, Ruiz tried to warn him, like, "If you do this, you're gonna kind of fuck yourself. You're gonna regret it." But Tommy wasn't listening. I think it's mad sad that Tommy didn't listen. Like, Tommy really should have listened to him. Or, like, it's crazy that he didn't listen. It's pretty messed up. But besides that, Tommy did his thing. We see Dre swoops through. Dre helps him put him in the car. We see Drake stole a car from him. And we see, I thought it was like a random person just pulling up at that moment, but we see it was just Dre. Tommy and Dre had a little come like, "Look, Ghost don't know about this. I'm not going to say nothing, so you got me." And the whole thing is like, it is Ghost's fault. Like, if Ghost wouldn't have smashed Tasha, I was like, "Nigga, bruh." Soon as I saw him in the classroom, he was talking about, "Oh, it drove away between your family." I was like, "Bruh, don't do it. Don't do it. This fool." go home, smashes Tasha, and tells Tasha his story. Like, why he still talking with Tasha about the drug game, man? He already learned, man. Tasha can't be trusted, and in the words of Breeze, like, these hoes is not loyal. I'm not calling Tasha a hoe, but she's not loyal. Like, I understand she's scared for her life and everything. First thing she do is call Tommy up. Like, look, Tommy, girl's got this plan going on with Ruiz. She don't even know what Tommy did to her homegirl, and she over here calling Tommy stupid. Stupid girl. So that messes up Ruiz right there. Like, it all goes back to the Ghost. If Ghost would have told Tasha, Ruiz would have been smooth with it. But hey, so Ghost let go. But Tommy, like, basically tell Ruiz to get a ride home. Everything happens. He kills him. And that was really it for this episode. I really like it. It was mad more suspenseful than I expected. I'm glad to see how everything came out. I love to see how we get to see how Tommy reacts with everything. I still think it was messed up that Tommy decided to kind of. I think Tommy's playing both sides. I think he's more on Milan's side, but only time I figure out for the next episode. We only got one episode left for the season, and it's gonna be crazy. Like, it's gonna be a lot we have to cover up in this cover in this episode, which I'm kind of expected for, and I'm excited for. But from like one thing I didn't like, just the way they were like doing Ghost. Like, I feel like it was so like typical the way he went back to Tasha. I feel like they shouldn't have did that. Yeah. And but what I will say though, like, my power move of the week though, it does go to Tariq. Even though I think what he did was stupid, like super stupid, by all means retarded. But the way he went about it was super cool. We see he did the old school move, put your shoes into the shoe box, clean. Those shoes still clean though. But we see he did that. Then he calls when the other dude go on break. We see he calls the store. Even only one employee there. He calls the store. The employee goes, answer the phone. Tariq moves out. And it's crazy. Like, I can't believe he did that. Like, super clever move. I can see how smart he was. Pretty clever with that. But besides that, like, he was stupid. But like, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we're doing a giveaway this week. To be eligible for the giveaway, remember, you have to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So then again, the giveaway is for a $25 gift card. It's your choice of either an Amazon, iTunes card, or a Google Play card. So as always, thank you guys for joining in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you like what you heard. If you didn't like something I said, go ahead and put your opinion in the comment. I'll respond to you. I'm pretty good with responding. I'll normally get back to you within like a day or two. So thank you guys for tuning in again. And as always, follow us on Instagram at lost_culture. Follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston. As always, stay lost. We start with the episode. I tell everybody thank you. You guys helped me reach my first goal. My first goal was the FX. So you know who this show is. It's basically a brand new show. It's on FX.